Alright, so today we are going to do some oat bread. I've looked into some recipes on the internet, but I did not came across anything interesting, and almost every single recipe required or flour with gluten or yogurt of some sorts, and I do not want to use any gluten, and I don't have any yogurt or milk. So I will be preparing everything with eggs and water in my case. So I got some oats. Alright, so right now I'm going to gather all of the ingredients that I will need for this recipe. And we will use some homemade ghee butter. We will have to use some salt as well. Yeast. I don't know if I have yeast. I don't think so. Okay. This is not that great. We don't have yeast, so we will use some baking powder. Hopefully this one will work. I'm not sure though. What else do we need? Oh, yeah, we need some gluten-free flour. We got a little bit left of this one. And what else? What else? We will need a tiny touch of oil, of which I got. And, let's maybe also add a little bit of garlic inside all of this. It might be a nice touch. Alright, so we will need a bowl to mix everything up. Aha, now I'm lost. Ooh, yeah. We will need to liquefy a little bit of that butter. So we will need a pan, the butter. I don't know how much. Maybe 50 grams, I think, should be a right number. It's been a while since I last prepared my own oat bread. I tried to do this once. I remember that I failed. But this time, I think that it will be different. I'm a new man right now. And baking oat bread is the manliest thing you can do. This is a challenge in the kitchen. The biggest challenge in the kitchen. Alright, so we have 40. I guess that will be enough. I don't want to use too much butter as well. Let's put that into the pan. And let it melt. Also, I just thought of maybe boiling some eggs next to all of this to get some extra protein. So how many eggs will I use? 3. I'll use 3 for the bread. But it's not worth. Well, we won't do that then. We'll be fine without boiled eggs. We'll see how many we'll have to use here. Alright, so let's begin with the flour. And we will need some water. Alright. So the butter is melting. All of that is good. Now let's prepare the flour, the base of our oat bread. And let's begin with oats themselves. So we will need, I don't know how much, maybe 200 grams, let's say. Nah, more. 300 grams. Let's do 300 grams of oats. $250 maybe. 300 seems too much. Now I'll do 300. It will be even better if I'll have some leftovers. So that's enough of my oats. We added 300 grams of them. Now the next phase of this recipe will be simply smashing all of these oats so that they become very small, flour-like. This part is the hardest on your fingers. Also make sure that you have washed your hands before, which I did. There we go. So this mashing process can take a long time, anywhere from a couple minutes if you don't want to work with this, to half an hour if you want to mash all of these oats into extremely small pieces. My thumb muscles already hurt, but that's life. That is life. Oh, I almost forgot about my butter. It's melted. It's ready. There we go. Let's continue with my oats. This is a real workout for your hands, for your hand muscles. As I was saying, this is the best way to measure the amount of your improvement, the amount of the alpha that is in you. Because contrary to popular belief, males also cook in the kitchen. Alright, that is it. I don't have any more strength left in my fingers. This is the end result that we got. Alright, now next part, flour. We are going to add maybe 100 or 80 grams of flour. I'll see how much I got in here. We'll do 80. This is 80. Good. Good. So now let's mix all of that up. Now the fact that I'll have to use baking powder is very terrible news. You should use yeast. I've tried one time back in high school years. One time I was preparing banana bread, if I remember correctly, and then I used this baking powder instead of the yeast, and it wasn't banana bread that I got. It was basically banana pancakes that I had at the end. In my defense, I also was going against recipe. I was just doing everything by head. Okay, there we go. All of that, let's mix up. So now the baking powder. Before that I'll wash my hands. Yeah, the baking powder. I don't know how much of it I should put. I'll aim for how much is this? This is for 1 kg. I used half of it. And here I got almost half a kg of flour. Yeah, so I can use all of it. All of the baking powder. There we go. Ooh. Oh, I also almost forgot. We also need to use a little bit of sugar. I will be using some coconut sugar. I will be using some coconut sugar. This one. And I'll put maybe I'll put 2 teaspoons of it. There we go. And since I'm putting sugar, I'll put a little bit of cinnamon as well. This one. Good. I hope that this was cinnamon. I'm not sure. Yep, it was. Oh, it's strong as well. Nice. Let's mix everything up. Yeah, like that. Now this will be a big loaf of oat bread. Now, salt. This should be quite salty, so I'll put quite a lot of salt. I have no idea how much to put though. Well, let's hope that this is enough. A little bit more. There we go. I'm whisking everything. Good. And now comes the liquid part of this bread. So we will use some eggs. One. I'll try a one-handed egg crack. Look, this is the most alpha stuff in the kitchen that you can do, basically. There we go. This is some pro-level stuff. Watch and learn. And another one. There we go. With no shells as well. 3 will be enough, or do I need more? No, never put too many eggs. This is a lesson that I learned as well the hard way. If you put too many eggs into your bake, into your cake or your bread, doesn't matter. Your bread will turn solid. It will lose its airness and its puffiness. Ooh, and here is where we also need to add the butter. Make sure that it is not hot, because else your eggs will turn into an omelette. And whisk it very fast. While pouring your butter. I'm not talking much because I'm hyper focused. I want this bread to be very tasty because I'm planning to use it as my dinner. I don't want to waste this food. So now you just have to whisk it till everything is well mixed. Ooh, I like how this thing is looking. It's looking very good. Alright, and when it's mixed up, it will be time to add this to the bread, to the flour base. But first of all, we need to add some water. How much? I got no idea, and we're here to find out. So we did 300 grams of oats, if I remember correctly, then 80 grams of gluten-free flour, so that makes it 380. And I guess we have to use maybe half of that number for water. So let's make it 200 milliliters or grams of water. This looks like cement. Bad news. I poured 220. It shouldn't do any bad to this thing. Alright, and so now here comes the whisking part again. Yeah, this really does look like cement. Look at that. This is not perfect, but it could be worse. Honestly, it could be worse. I think that was a bad idea to add the water first though, because now it's very sticky and now I got an entire full thing of my base, which is not good. And I still got quite a lot of dry flour and oats remaining here. They do not mix up because all of them are in my... we'll have to change strategies and use hands, I think that there is... We cannot do anything else in this situation. I just try to get all of it out. Ooh, I like the smell though. It smells amazing. You know, it smells the same way that the food for fish smells. Now, the food in flour form that is made for fish, for the ones that are fishing. All of my dear fishermen, you should know what I'm talking about. At least that thing is popular here in Europe. I don't know about other continents. Ooh. I like all of this. It smells amazing, and the texture is kind of good as well. It's almost a little bit too dry, but I'll have to add my eggs and my butter, and all of that should make everything perfect. So, well, moment of truth. Let's see. I'll have to use my hands. Oh, that's life. All right. Ooh, I think that the butter was a great addition because it doesn't stick to my fingers now. But it did look better before adding the eggs. When I just added the water, it had a better smell than now. Yeah, it's good I put 3 eggs and not more. More would have been a tragedy here. It does not mix up very well though. And it begins to stick to my hands. Well, this is not good. Now, if I would have used some yeast, here's where I should leave this aside and to rise a little bit. Now that I'm saying that, I remember that oats are also very great absorbers. So I guess I won't put this immediately to the oven. I'll leave it outside for a few minutes first. Alright, I kind of like it. So this is what we have so far. There we go. Oh, it's on my fingers. I don't know what to do. I don't want to waste any of it. I'll have to waste. I don't have a choice here. Great. Well, it's looking kind of nice, I have to say. We'll see. I might have discovered something here. So let's take out the baking tray out of the oven. Let's move the scale. This, we won't need this anymore. We won't need any of that stuff. Oh, we got garlic as well. And some butter. Alright, so we will add the garlic and the butter on top of this bread. Now, before doing anything, we need some parchment paper so that it doesn't stick. And I'll use some olive oil as extra precaution here. And now a great tip for you is that you can use your hand and put it into the oil and just make sure that the soil is covering the entire space here. And then when you are done with that, well, you can use both arms, both hands. When you're done, now your hands are covered in oil, so they won't stick as much. And you will be able to take out your raw bread easier. It won't stick as much as it would without that oil. Let's see. Whoa, what a big. There we go. Some more. It smells nice again. It smells nice again. I'm not sure how this olive oil will affect my bread though, because this is high quality olive oil, which you should all buy, and it has very specific olivey taste and smell. So I might have baked a focaccia here, if you know what I'm talking about. Good. So this is done. And now let's form my bread. It shouldn't be too thin, because also it will be a biscuit and not bread. But it cannot be too fat as well. It cannot be too thick. I think, yeah, you should aim for 2 to 3 centimeters of width in this bread. Now, while I'll leave this bread for a few minutes just to sit by itself, I'll preheat the oven at 180. I'll try 180 degrees. Don't know how much I should have heated it to, but I think 180 is a safe choice and I can't really mess up with that. I'll use the entire 3 pieces of garlic. And this garlic is special. It comes from my grandma's garden. It's hand raised. Now usually here is where you could use a garlic grinder, but I do not own that thing, so I'll just have to deal with a knife and just basically cut this garlic into small pieces and then squish it with the top of my knife, just like that. There we go. One piece clean, second one comes. There we go. Now we can begin cutting those, and just before we do that, we need to liquefy. We don't even need to liquefy at this point. We can just cut a few small pieces of butter to add on top of our bread. They have to be very thin though, and we can gently place them all around our bread. Basically doing the same thing as putting cheese on top of a pizza. Because if you didn't know, oats love butter. They love fat in general. As I said previously, they are very good absorbers. Do not put too much butter though on your bread, because also it'll be just liquid bread. Your bread could drown in fat. There we go. So we are done with the butter for now. And let's move on to the garlic itself. And let's hope that I do not cut myself. Now, excuse me for my poor cutting skills. I'm not very skilled in that way.
So far, everything is going according to plan, so I'm very happy about that.
I have absolutely no cutting techniques. So please do not judge me on that. Cutting garlic is so much better than cutting onion. This morning I was cutting some onions for my breakfast, and I almost became blind. At one point I had to just stop cutting them and just take a break of a couple minutes, just in pain, with tears in my eyes. Yeah, onions can beat any man. Ooh, this is beginning to look very good. So at the end of the day, we'll have some oat and garlic bread. It sounds very good. I don't know how it'll taste though. The oven is heated as well, so I should try to speed up this process. One more time this direction and I'll be good. There we go. Now, as I said, after cutting all of this, you need to squash it up so that all of the juices get out. And we can chop it up one more time. Good. When all of this is done, now we can add it on our bread, and our bread will be ready for the oven, for the baking process, through which we'll get to know if my experiment has been successful or not. I believe that this will be quite a success. From the smell alone, I'm enjoying this bread already. So now I put too much on one place. So this is quite a lot of garlic, but I like garlic, so I think the only thing that it can do is make this bread even tastier. Even though I've never tried garlic on oats. Well, there's a first time for everything. Yeah, there we go. Oh, love how this is ending up looking. There we go. Let's smash everything up. Make sure that there are no garlic pieces sticking out, because these can burn very easily, and you don't want that, trust me. And you might not believe in God, but someone still is providing all of this food, so you have to be grateful for it. In my case, I'll make a little cross in the middle of this bread. And thank you, God, for this food that I have in front of me. So this is done. The oven is ready. Let's see how all of this will turn out. So this is the end product that we got. Just look at this bread. It's amazing, isn't it? There we go. And now into the oven. Whoa. Alright, so The temperature is perfect. And now let's cook it for 25 minutes. And then we'll see if we will need more or less time. Alright, so during this time, all I will do will be just simply cleaning up all of this stuff. Now I have to disperse the butter as well. I just realized that the solid butter that I put on top earlier is not covering the entire bread. Be careful when opening your oven, always. I will quickly show you how the bread is looking. Look at this. Very promising, as I was saying. So, let's show you again how the bread is looking. The edge are a tiny bit brown by this time. It is still missing some cooking time. It's been going for 20 minutes now. I think it needs 10 more minutes, or maybe 20, we'll see. I don't want it to be too dry as well. It stopped raising. It stopped rising though, which is unfortunate. But the thickness of it should still be quite right. The garlic seems very raw though, so. Oh, I don't know. I think I did a great job. Great job. Do another checkup on the bread. It's smelling very nice, which means that the inside is cooking as well. This is how it's looking. It's even more brown by now, and I can see that the garlic is becoming brown as well, which means that everything is cooking the way it should cook. It seems to me that the bread is almost done, or maybe is completely done already. So I will be checking that. It is important to not overcook it, because then it will not be a bread anymore. It's like getting more brown on top. Ooh. I don't know if the inside is cooked or not. We'll taste it. I think that it is. I think that it is. And it tastes quite good as well. But almost everything that I can taste in this is simply sugar. No, not sugar. All that I can taste in this is cinnamon and salt. I think I almost put too much salt in this, but not too much so that it would make it bad tasting. It doesn't have a strong structure to it. Well, that's because it doesn't have any gluten in it. It does absolutely look like bread though. And it does smell amazing as well. Let's cut this into some pieces. I've already tasted it with nothing on top, and it was very tasty. This is how the bread looks. It does seem to be a great success, and the last test that I'll give to this one will be to taste it with some tuna. I got some very great canned tuna in olive oil with some peppers. I love it. I always drain a little bit of that oil because it often has too much of it, and I don't like when things are way too fat. So let's see, let's mix that tuna. And now let's divide this into two parts. Let's put some tuna on top. A little more. Now here comes the final taste test. Cheers. It has a very specific taste, but I do like it. And I'm not saying that just to boost my ego. It actually is kind of a good end product, looking at the products that I use and doing all of this with no recipe and basically with only healthy stuff. Well, it had a couple tablespoons of sugar, but yeah. Very good. We recommend. I've been eating this bread and it is absolutely fire. I've tried it out with this tuna and it's amazing. The interior is also just baked just as much as it had to be baked, and it's very smooth. The garlic is a very nice addition. I will enjoy this by myself right now. I recommend you follow my recipe and try to do this. I'll write all of the ingredients and the instructions just below in the description on a Notion page. And I'll see you tomorrow.